Virgo, how you doing? So Ebony and Ivory, or Bethel, or Ebony, Evie, Devi, Ebony, Ivory. Something to do with right or wrong, black or white, Michael Jackson. Something to do with Michael or Jackson or Jackie, okay, or Jackie Brown. Something to do with maybe drugs or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if Jackie's doing brown or someone's doing brown. But brown here is also heroin, so I've just kind of, that's come up in 2 readings so far. But I'm hearing Ebony and Ivory, something to do with the piano, okay, or music. Some of you could have a lot of music references around a piano, or the Piano Man, okay, or P, Pucci, Paula, Pisces, okay. But I definitely keep hearing though this sign of like, the sign of something, the siren, the name siren, or red flags, or something like that, okay, and a siren, an ambulance, something to do with an ambulance. So I don't know what this is for, because I can hear an ambulance, okay, I can hear an ambulance. So is this anything to do with around where it is medical, or pharmaceutical, or medical, okay, and it is to do with around NHS, people that work for, like, you know, ambulances. But I don't know if there is a drug addiction here or anything like that, of someone needing assistance, or a personal assistance, a PA, personal assistant teacher, okay. Someone feels as if someone's trying to teach someone a lesson here, is definitely the energy. Like between Ebony and Ivory. Evie, said that right. But I'm trying to teach you a lesson here. But I also heard Effie, or Steph, the name Steph, or someone that's deaf. I also heard Dumb and Dumber, deaf and dumb, or blind, or Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd's chemist, something to do with someone that goes to the chemist to get something, like a prescription from the chemist. Y'all really could be dealing with someone that's on I'm hearing methadone, or Emily, Emma, or Melissa, Maria, M's again, okay, but I'm hearing Jen, Julia, Jason, Justin, Jasmine, but I definitely keep hearing like this, I need a prescription, okay, I'm hearing a Jim Morrison, but like a subscription, something to do with subscription wars, again, somebody's going through this subscription thing about YouTube or something, I don't know, subscriptions, but also a prescription. But I am definitely picking up on Lloyd, or chemist. So Lloyd's chemist here, or Leo chemist. Lloyd, Elzebub, something to do with a Capricorn. Or, sorry, we do put these messages together eventually. Virgo, if you haven't seen my channel before. Scorpio. Something here around that I need a prescription and I need to go to the chemist in order to be able to get it. But Lloyd's chemist here is normally used for people that are using. They're saying that somebody is using drugs. It could be heroin, it could be methadone, it could be DF118, D, I keep hearing D, Dan, Danielle, Dan, anybody beginning with D, okay, D, okay. But like a prescription, like I need a subscription, or I need a prescription. But I definitely keep hearing though that somebody's using like prescriptions, like, okay, they're saying that a doctor might be giving off false prescriptions, like writing tickets, but it's really not a doctor, or it is a doctor, but it's somebody that writes like back alley cats, something to do with around Alison or Ali, or Cat, which would be Leo, of, I don't know if this is a doctor, of someone that writes prescriptions for people, but there's something about, I don't know what it is or what it's going to relate to, but it's something about writing prescriptions for people, okay, and I need a prescription. So it's kind of like chemist doctors, right? But there's a slight energy here, like I said, it's coming through as someone that could be using, because these people that could be on methadone, because I keep hearing M, okay, methadone or something. But I need a prescription. Or I need a Pisces, or I need a P. I need a toilet. I need the toilet. Quick, go. But like, I need the toilet. Is this some sort of like it stings when someone wheezes? Okay, like something down below here, or is it smear campaign or a smear test? Like I need a meerkat. Something around Leos, and I need a smear test, or I need a test, or I need to go for my test. I mean, it could be COVID vaccination, but I need to go for a test. I need to go for a checkup. Well, I heard I need to go for a driving test, but I think that's really to do with the name of driver, or like I need a driver, which means that I need someone to drive for the company. Like I need a driver, specifically. Like I'm looking to hire a taxi, so a taxi company. And I'm looking to hire someone that can be a driver for us. So like a taxi company, people that are like looking for drivers. Okay. But I'm also hearing someone called Dan, or a driver. Okay. A designated driver. I need somebody that's going to take me. That's what I'm saying. I want to go somewhere, but I can't because I can't drive, and I need someone to take me to drive. Like I can't drive, but I need someone else to drive because I can't. So there's sort of like a driving test. If not, it's someone that's looking for a driver, or that you're going to need a ticket to drive. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. It's like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I give up. I don't care. I'm also hearing that. I don't care. Karen, Sharon. Okay, but I don't care anymore. Kelly, I don't care anymore. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The name Tina. Tina. Don't cry, Tina. Don't cry, Tina. There's a Tina here that could well be crying over something. Now, is it spilt milk and it's something to do with around a Leo energy? Or whatever happened in the Leo reading? Or somebody that's crying? Crying quite a lot. Like crying. Crying. That's all I can really see for you, Leo. Leo? I'm also hearing Libra, or anybody beginning with L. Libra, L's above something to do with Capricorn. Libra. But Virgo, I'm doing the energy for. I keep hearing that somebody's crying over something. Now, people say spilt milk, but I just keep hearing like I'm crying over something. Like it's a crying shame. My name's Shane. Or Lanny. Laney? Shane Lane. Shane or Lane. The name Shane or Lane? Elaine Page. Something to do with Elaine Page? Or Elaine. Somebody here is watching the just a very quick one, Virgo. Someone here is watching the vampire film. Turning Pages is what they actually sung at the end of it. It was a song by Turning Pages. And watch the vampire film when they meet at school and so on and so forth, and it goes through first, second, third, fourth. I think it even went to number 5, I think. So you can be dealing with Taurus, Sagittarius, somewhere in the chart. But like watching, because I'm definitely hearing Turning Pages, okay, and they played that at the wedding part. So, what on earth is that called? It's a vampire film. I forget what it's called now, off the top of my head, but it's a vampire film, right? And the last song when they actually started to get married was by Turning Pages, okay. One of my favourite bands, to be honest. None of you ever heard in Sleepless in Seattle? I'm always hearing that. Someone from Seattle. Okay. Sleeping at Last. But it was called Turning Pages, and the band is called Sleeping at Last. Okay. So at last I'm sleeping. So the medication that you might be going to get is sleeping tablets, right? Is it that? Sleeping tablets. And I need to go to the chemist in order to get some sleeping tablets? Because I'm definitely hearing sleeping at last. At least I'm getting some sleep. Doctor Sleep. Some of you could be watching Ewan or McGregor or Ewan. Ewan. But like the name Jai or Gianna. or Jay, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine, but Gianna, and I'm sleeping at last. So somebody here could be, because I'm picking up big energies of Scorpio, and I'm picking up that somebody could be putting someone to rest here, like physically to rest, like I'm going to put something in your, oh, okay, ooh, what on earth is that? Okay, I was going to say someone's putting someone to rest here, but I'm hearing like I'm going to put someone in your, something in your drink, or I'm going to get you to drink. Like, there seems to be this event that seems to be flowing around for some of the Sun, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node. And it's because I heard, like, I'm going to start to drink, like I'm going to drink, like I'm going to drink. And I'm going to go out to it, but I'm going to drink on tablets. Like, take tablets, but also drink. Or, like, I can't... Man, there's a strange energy around drinking, driving, Cancerian, Leo energies, right? Because they were both in that. Something around, like, tablets. An energy here that's very disturbing around drinking on tablets. There's another energy here that I'm picking up around someone putting something in someone's drink. Let's hopefully it doesn't begin with R, because I'm hearing rohypnol. Right, so be very careful around those, because I don't know what that's for here. Okay, that's obviously don't, you know, just be careful around drinking. Whatever it is, just be careful around what you're drinking. Be careful, Keith, the name Keith. But also be careful around people that drink. It's come out through 3 signs. It's come out so far through Cancerian, started to come out through Leo, but I tried to avoid that energy, and now it's coming up through Virgo energy, around tablets, prescriptions. Cancel my subscription to the resurrection. I got some friends inside. Yeah, something to do with Jim, Jolene, Justin, Jim Morrison. Morrison's. Someone that works at a shop, Morrison's, or Tesco's, or something like that. Okay, but I've got some friends inside, so that would normally be some people that are like in prison, falsely accused, or prison, or something like some. Wow, I mean, whoa. I mean, what did this person go down for? Because I'm hearing like a few references here for you, Virgo. Somebody that got accused of something that they did, or accused of something that they feel that they didn't. Whichever way you've got here, you've got an argument, or you've got people in prison, someone getting out maybe, but someone falsely accused, someone accusing someone in the relationship of something, someone accusing someone of using, or someone accusing someone of abusing them, mentally or physically. So you've got physical or mental abuse, you've got depression, you've got possible seeking tablets or help for something, sleep, you've got drink, alcohol. Man, I can't make any sense of what these messages would actually relate to you, because there's quite a few all of there that are all mixed up into something. Sagittarius, mixing my drinks. It came up through another reading. Leo, about mixing my drinks, because it came up of after a shock, and after the tower, and after a breakup, aftershock. Aftershock, aftershock, aftershock. But it came up as a drink that was called aftershock. So I'm picking up after a shock, and after the shop, I stop off at the one-stop shop, and it came up through Cancerian. In that one, there was a possible energy of someone drinking. I felt very bad through that reading because I was acting very drunk and overreacting the performance of what I felt. But I'm glad I actually put it up, because it really is coming out through that reading. So, trust me, you can have anybody that is Cancerian, a 7, or a Leo, or number 8, Aquarius, or... because you can look at life path. Sorry, it'd be very confusing. Like Leo, Aquarius 8, Cancerian being involved also. Someone's going to be involved in an accident. I'm sorry, but I really keep hearing it, that someone's going to be either one accused, falsely accused, abused, using drugs, alcohol, drink, accused of an accident, accused... Man, I mean, this is like either going to court, or it is like Lion's Court, so that could be court, or caught red-handed, someone around Red Riding Hood, wolf, or like Red Riding Hood, red, someone that's got ginger hair, or red hair, or ginger hair, or red, which would be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but red flags. So again, there's something around abstinent, Abigail, Abbott, but like abstinent, around like drink, because it's coming up of an addiction here. It really is. And through this hour of a shock, which can also be like a 9, because it can be Virgo, right? So it can be a 9, but a 9 can also mean after a breakup. So it can also mean like tower energies. And because of after a shock to the system, or to the sister, like I'm shocked to hear about my sister, or I'm shocked to hear about my brother, it's something to do with a sibling, came out for another reading. Definitely big Cancerian energy, where I said if you watch the Patreon, you'll see where I've swapped the readings around now and showing you signs of the big red flags where it's gone back to family dynamics, where one is trying to avoid a situation of a dynamic of their love, and now the universe has changed your weekly messages into a dynamic that's now going to happen around siblings, around a brother and a sister, and around a family dynamic of Tower. That came out through Leo, and it also came out through Cancerian. And there was a pattern of Gemini involved also, okay, within Judgment, and it was around loss, and it was around physical loss, and the loss of someone, even just a breakup. But it was a lot of energies that you'll see through, if you're watching my readings, you'll see how I've started to look at the energy of from minor to major, making a minor incident and making it more into a dramatic performance that came out through Cancerian reading. So making things that are very minor and making a drama out of a crisis, adding fuel to the fire, okay? So to a fire sign. So it's either them or you, or M. But again, adding fuel to the fire, right? So basically, the energy of those messages are there, so be very careful. But you've got another one here, right, which is what I've been saying, mainly for patrons, but for other people for advice, which is around that when you contact people, right, out of a minor incident, right, because this is either a major ward or a ward 5, or fucking loony bin, this ward 5 here, but sorry, there was a few messages, hospitals, units, and things like that, what do they call the A&E unit and all those things, like minor incidents, major incidents, like a minor incident and a major incident, ambulances and all these kind of things, so people work at hospitals and whatnot, right? But here, when you get an energy that is a minor incident in life, which is an argument, right, it normally happens and starts off with one. It starts off with what one said to one person, right? So what is said to one person is fear, right? So you get Leo energy, right? So one starts off to be where it's been pages, where it started off as an argument of something that somebody said. It's not always the argument, right? It's what is said after an argument and during it, right? During the war, Granddad, right? Only fools and horses. But during the war, when you fight, you have the 9 of Wands, so you have a Virgo energy, right? So you have confusion, or a transfusion, blood transfusion, or something like that, man. This is something to do with hospitals and things. But a transfusion, right? So you get fused, you get triggered, right? You start thinking that the other person's controlling you, gaslighting, all that kind of stuff. A trigger, right? It starts off by a very minor incident. It does. It starts off as an apology. You've definitely got the other signs in your, like Leo energy. Starts off as a minor incident, right? Whatever was minor, when explained to a person, it makes it more out to be an apology. So when you want an apology or think that the other person deserves an apology for one's behaviour, you create a person that might not want to listen. So then you get Scorpio, that was in the last reading, upside down, okay, but it was on Patron. When you do, you get a person that doesn't want to listen. So you have an opposition. You have a fixed sign against a fixed sign, basically, within your chart. So you try to explain, I can't explain, I can't get through to you. I want to try again, I want to apologise, right? So you get an apology. But at the beginning of this, you get an argument. Whatever is said during an argument, right, when there's more added on top of that, when you blame and you start blaming, which is why you can't talk to people whilst you're arguing. Because when you do start to talk whilst you're arguing, is when you'll start to blame the other person for everything that you feel or think that the other person may or may not have done, right? And because of that, you'll blame this person that pushes them further away and then wonder why they left, right? So they leave, right? So the name Lee or Leanne or L or Elzebub, right? But, which would be a Capricorn energy, right? Which showed up in other signs, right? Is that when you blame an energy and you shout and scream, if the person doesn't want to listen, you'll think that they're arrogant, right? Because they don't want to argue about it. So they need some time. So then you get patience, you get Sagittarius, Libra energies, right? But Sagittarius, if someone's not patient enough in order to wait for things and they want it now, when they don't get what they want, the other person, they realise that they can't control what they want or what they need, which is an apology for something, right? So when you argue during those times, that is where you'll say things out of your mind that you don't mean. You'll come across as very mean, very arrogant, right? So when the other person sees or feels arrogancy through a mirror, they'll think that you're being arrogant, that you're being stubborn. So will the other person. So you'll go through an hour of thinking that everybody's controlling. Trust me, it's here, and it happens. It's true, whether you believe it or not. The other person will see the other person's controlling because you're controlling each other's motion and emotions, right? It's only done by spirit. It's an opposition in your chart of that are fixed, because fixed signs are known as an opposition because they're stubborn, they're arrogant. You can't get through to them. They won't drop it even with you. That's your opposition of wherever that is in your chart, right? Definitely, if you watch the advice that I give over on Patron for Leo, where I said about South Node, and I showed patterns of what was going on in family dynamics around the, but you will really have to watch that because I'm not going to give that away, but that was good advice there. It's up to you whether you see it or not, or take it, but it was showing you sort of South Node, Southpaw, which is fight. I fight Southpaw, but I fight dirty. North Pole, North, right? North Node, South Node. You fight Southpaw, I fight North Pole, right? So north and south is an opposition of a magnet that can't seem to get through to one another. So you look at Southpaw, fight. North Pole, arrogant, don't want to know, north. Your opposition, okay? You go south, I go north. You go your way, I go my way. There's no getting through to you, right? Sorry if I'm explaining a little bit about what I don't know about. I just get told by spirit. It's just a book of knowledge. I'm sorry, I can't explain it every time. Whatever spirit tells me, I don't research anything. I'm just told it by spirit. Okay. So they're saying that there is something around South Pole, North Pole. Oppositions of that, right? So you've got that there. But when you fight during an argument, more is added on to it because you make a drama out of a crisis. So you push the other person away because you feel that they're not prepared to listen to the demands of what I want in a relationship. But through conditioning that came up around Taurus, that was in the last reading, okay, over on Patron, Taurus actually explained in that card around a condition of what the person wants or feels a relationship should be, right? So because they do, when you're in a partnership and someone won't listen to somebody fighting, a partnership will always say, yeah, but this is how we see a partnership in life as a condition, right? Is that we're supposed to talk about all our feelings and emotions. We're supposed to talk during argumentative energies because we don't have patience. You're supposed to be talking to me every day. You're supposed to be with me every day. You're supposed to be my partner. You're supposed to care to every need and want that I have. You're supposed to be loyal to a T of 9, right? So when you get those, when you're in a partnership and a partner won't or doesn't have time to listen because they either, one, have things that go on in their life around work, right? Around that there are other important things for me to do today that I can't do listening to you or voodoo, right? So I can't listen to you to do what you do. I want to do what I want to do, right? So you get an arrogant opposition of polar, right? So you get bipolar energies. Trust me, whether anybody's bipolar or not, you'll think that you are, right? Because you'll think that you're going crazy through your messages. So here, you'll get your opposition. That you'll realise that during times of not having patience, and that I need and want to talk about it now, and we need to get this out in the open now, during times of my head being filled with all of this anger, because of that, I will then want to talk about it now, which is you could be dealing with a frayed knot, a Pisces, which is really not the best time to ever discuss anything, is when there is argumentative energy in someone's head, especially when you're dealing with Ed or Eddie or Edmonds or from Bury St Edmunds. But when you're dealing with anybody that has that in their head, when you deal with a mirror of soulmates, is how difficult it is and why we're all designed to be on our own, right? It's because when someone has it in my head, when I'm connected with a person, I pick up on that. Psychically, everything. I pick up on the feelings, I pick up on the emotions. And because I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, I already know. I know that somebody, as a partner or friend or person, is fucking really going through something in their feelings and the emotions. And I'll see the depth of what is going on with a person without them even admitting it, without them even knowing themselves. I'll see that. I'll feel that. Because I'm also a Pisces sun, right? So I see Pisces is all about, they know the minute detail of everything. They'll feel it, they'll see it, they'll know, because they're the 12th sign. So intuition will tell that person through astrology, I can feel that something is wrong. I've noticed all these small things that have been going on. I may not have told you about them, but I've seen that something that I have done has actually really annoyed you, right? So you get an accumulation of the tower, right? Then you find that what you get is an action to what you didn't want, which means that all of this stuff that's been built up, like the tower of an awakening and fucking lost my mind and everything else, and I don't have any patience of Sagittarius now, because I don't, right? And all this is built up in my head of something that you said. I now don't have any patience to wait to let the energy calm down, as where I'm now going to think and project the fact that it's you that you're controlling, right? Or anybody in your life, it doesn't matter, but this is your story. We will do your tarot. There is going to be more to that, okay? But these are very important steps that people just think, oh no, I just want the tarot. This is really important, okay? Because this is what Spirit tells me here, right? It's my job. So they're saying that here, that when you opposite someone and you're polar opposite, is that when you talk to this person and you don't have patience, right? Then this person, if they don't want to argue, you'll see them as arrogant of a sign that you can't get through to. Like Scorpio, Taurus. You can't get through to them. The conditioning of Taurus or Scorpio will say that I'm a fixed sign. And you're not going to blame me, and you're not going to tell me this, and you're not going to tell me that. Okay, so I see you as arrogant. You don't ever have time for me. You don't ever listen, so what's the point? I can't get through to you. You're not listening. This is what I want. If I here are argumentative and have 5 of a life path or Taurus or Sagittarius, or I have all of this going around in my head, when I bring the Kraken towards 5 to a person, what do you get? A fight. Because I bring it to you, what do you get? Flight. Fight or flight. So what do you get then? So then you get ultimatum. I'm going to give you an ultimatum, right? This is what it is, and these are my demands through the condition of what I feel to be conditional love. Unconditional, no. There has to be conditions. You can't say yes all the time. You have to say no. The moment you say no, there's a condition. If you never say no and you all say yes, then you need to start saying something else. Right? But again here, when you come up against someone here, you push them away because of a conditioning of 5. You bring it to them. If they don't have patience to stand around and listen to it, and they don't want to, you push them away. So through a trigger, if somebody doesn't have that patience, you find that what it is coming from is oneself, which is a mirror of connected to another, right? Which is your opposite, right? Opposites attract the same. Fight or flight, anxiety, sleepless nights. I need to suppress it with antidepressants. I need to suppress it with drink, with alcohol, with food, right? I'm obsessed about an energy that I can't seem to run from. So where does that happen? Well, I run back to my family. I run back to my ex. I go back to old behaviour. Time seems to have gone backwards. I've gone back to an ex. I've gone back to a friend. I've gone back to a mother or a father to try and get sense out of that probably is barking mad, right? But I've gone back to those in order to seek support with the people that I may have blamed for a start that were really not for my highest good. And because they weren't and they don't, what do? I go back to old behaviour. I go back to a karmic situation that I can't avoid here, so then I get pulled back in another direction to go back here towards Sagittarius Taurus, right? And it was in another reading. So then it shows up in your family. So what are you between here and here? Lost. Virgo. 9. Right? Purgatory. Stuck between heaven and hell. Pisces. Then you go to Pisces. You go to 3. Right? So then you're like, well, I'm stuck now. I've got no idea what to do. I don't know who to believe. If I go back to my family or I go back somewhere else, I'm really not going to get anything out of that either. And if I go forward, I really can't get anything from there, because what I want is an apology, and you're not apologising for your behaviour. So then who's to blame? So then during those energies of war, which is 9, if I come at you with fight or blame during the argument, then what do you expect from a person to do? Push, right? Pull, push, tug of war, right? Fighting. Paul McCartney, the tug of war, from one thing to another, is the tug of war. Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another, and if it isn't another, it's a mother, and if it isn't a mother, it's your brother. Right? You can't get rid of it. You can't. It's a stink, right? It's called karma, right? It's called Carmel or Mel, but it's called karma. You can't get rid of it. They're also children. They're also marriages. They're also mistakes, things that you can't get rid of, right? Things like that. But it's also a feeling that you can't shake. You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of your karma. People seem to think, you know what, the longer I'm living, the more karma I'm going to actually pay back. You just accumulate more of why being here. You never have any more or less than anybody else. Everybody else has the equal amount of karma. The equal amount of karma. Nobody has any more or less than the other person. They don't deserve any more or less than the other person. It's just designed within their chart to say whether they're getting it or not, because the most controlling thing in your life is God. Believe it or not, right? Because God has your design, right? He designed a whole lot for you to learn, right? So then you go to things that are biblical. By the way, if you like Angel Radio, you'll only find it over on Angel Radio now, but there's a biblical piece of music and art there with spirits actually in the sky. Right? Silver. I went with the silver in the sky. Something to do with silver, right? Here. But again, that's where you go, right? Here. So you go to Kyla. Skylar? Tyler? Right? But, yeah. So, what are your messages? Well, be very careful for a start, because that was me giving you an informative advice that a lot of people don't want. I just want the tarot, right? That's the advice there for you. Your messages is around, be careful around drink, around drugs, around alcohol, around codependent energies of thoughts, right? You have to keep your main perspective on your goal of positivity. And if you're not, and you are full of negativity, then what do? You blame, right? Blame a situation of what happened, right? So if you argue during those times, can you blame another person for not speaking or not talking or not giving over their power towards you, because they may or may not know already the fact that you're trying your best to do it? You have to look at what happened before, right? If this has happened again and again and again, you have to look at arguments of what a person did when they went back to an ex, or when they went back to old behaviour, or they went back to drinking, or they went back to their family, or they went back to another person. If anybody ever relapses within energy, right, what is expected of that person to maybe do or say to another person through the air of blame? You remind me of my ex. You remind me of my father. You remind me of when I used to drink. Or I stopped doing all of this because of you, and now you're not here. I'm going to go back and do that same thing because I don't have courage or strength or Leo in order to be able to prove to myself that I can do things very efficiently around a fish, very efficiently on my own. I can work on my own, I can live on my own, I can be on my own, and I feel very good and accomplished with everything that I can do in life, right? Designed of one man to be oneself. Selfish, right? So I'm designed to be on my own, right? Here. I want to be left alone. I can't cope. I can't go over it, right? I don't want to go over it anymore. I don't want to live anymore. I mean, what on earth is that for? I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live. Love don't live here anymore. Someone doesn't live here anymore. They've moved out. They've gone. They've either moved completely or they've moved on completely. Moved on. Right? Something like that. Or you got a breakup or something. Okay? So, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. So here, kids, children. We start to look at the energy of the past for a start, and then we start to do some of your future. But the main parts and the channeling and everything else as well start to come out more through Patron. I'm sorry, but I have to earn a living here. So you got fire sign, Speedy Gonzales. I want it now. It can also be an apology. Right? It's a minor incident, something that's very minor. It's just a night. It can be an energy that's felt. I felt that you were off. I felt that something was off. I got paranoid. I got skittish. I ran off. Right? What are you running off for? Why will you not give me what I want? Because it's a minor arcana card. I want an apology and I want it now. I don't have any patience. I want it now. Real quick. Straight in. Like mustard. I want an apology right now for your behaviour, young man. Right? Here. Because this could be a kid or a child. It can also be an apology. Right? So it can be an apology that's on its way to apologise. But because we're looking at past, we're looking at an apology of someone saying, look, I want an apology. Or can I apologise? Right? Here. But either way, it's an apologetic energy. But it's a pathetic energy also is what I'm hearing. Because it's gone. Which means that it was an ultimatum. If you don't soon start bucking up your ideas, young man, you are not going to be a part of my life and I'm going to leave. Out the door. Elvis. Gone. So it can be someone that's being threatened to be kicked out of the soul group, which means that if you don't soon start sorting out your glitches and everything else, and you just come in and go as you please, and you just don't, you don't do what I want or I don't do what you want, then I'll threaten your behaviour and tell you that I will leave. I will give you an ultimatum, but something that's very minor ends up being something that's very major, making it into like, well, I tell you what, then if I can't get on with you, then let's split up and let's not even speak at all. Over a minor card, because it's a minor card. But trust me, in the future you will see what I'm now transforming the messages into of how I read is that these minor cards are minor arguments to, well, they're not now, but it was something that was very minor, right? Unless it wasn't to you, but you probably won't see it as that. You'll see it as something major now. You will here. Because you'll see that the person is no longer with you, right? So if you see the fact that the person walked out on you compared to the other person, there might be a person who's thinking, well, why did you block me? Why did you block my phone? Why did you suddenly take me off Facebook or take my number out? Why did you block me? Why did you leave? Why did you go? Right? Why did you do all of that anyway? Because I did. Because you weren't really, you weren't cutting the mustard. You wasn't doing blah, blah, blah. So I left. Well, you left then, boo. If you went and you go. I did. There you go. So someone took this minor incident, took it the wrong way, and then went the wrong way. Well, they went their own way. They decided that what they wanted wasn't good enough as an apology. They took it and they ran with it. Out the door. Elvis. Gone. Left. Blocked. Out. Gone. Split up. Break up. Whichever way you look at it. Okay. So let's have a look at what's been going on with Virgo. So Aries here. See again, I tried to apologise to you, but you wasn't listening here. So these people could have siblings, brothers, kids, children, a mother. Okay, here. But when I say kids and children, I mean young kids or children, right? But you've got this energy of like, I can't get through to you. You won't listen. I'm at work. I can't listen to you when I'm at work. I can't answer every call that you give me when I'm at work. I probably run my own business, bruv. I do things my own way. I've got really important things to think about, right? Because I do. I'm a very busy person here. I'm very busy. I have my own business, my company, or I just mind my own business and try to just pretty much keep myself to myself. I don't really want any drama. I'm trying to get on with my work. You keep interrupting me when I'm at work. I can't give you an answer when I'm working. Yeah, well, that isn't quick enough. I wanted an answer. And because you didn't give me it right away and you didn't pick up the phone, you left it 5 or 10 minutes or an hour or two. Because you didn't, where were you? At work. All right, so you was at work, were you? Yeah, so, okay, so what, are you going to... have you got any time for me? Yeah, if you can be patient. If you can be patient and wait until I get home from work or I stop doing what I'm doing, I can actually probably give you more of a sane answer, but no, I'm not patient enough, no. I either want it now. And if you guys have broke up, this person took it the wrong way, that this person didn't have time for them, and actually left the building. Actually left. So if there was an energy that was to compromise in a decent relationship, you realise that the energy can be compromised. But if somebody took this the wrong way, like a child, they took it the wrong way and they turned this minor into a major incident, major arcana, if they took that the wrong way, they took something completely the wrong way. They put a mixture of 2 and 2 and come up with like 5, right, or 10. End. Gone. Right? Which can be like, I'll give you an ultimatum then. If things are not going as quick as I want it, and we can't speak day in, day out, and day in and day out, and you're too busy for me, well then I'm too busy for you and I'll leave you. So an ultimatum. Forced someone's hand, but you're looking at Aries. You're looking at Aries. You've left. Well, you've left a Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node person here. Okay. Because it's major. Someone made it into a bigger thing. So let's see Virgo. What's been going on with Virgo? But somebody wanted, well, I mean, they either wanted to work on it or not, because it's very strange that Knight of Wands has left, right? But here, I'm at work. I'm busy, right? I'm busy. I have things to do, like I'm extremely busy, right? It's what I was saying to you about how difficult this can be in a soulmate situation that a lot of people may not explain to you, is definitely being in a relationship with me, is that I have great importance to do because I run my own company and this is physically my job, right? And I own a few other things that I do, right, here. So I'm a very, 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 very busy person. If somebody contacts me, like if they're glitching out through the matrix and they do certain things that are like uncanny and you're like, Jesus Christ, bruv, I'm just at work. Someone sets off a mirror, yo, can't think at work. I can't think straight. I can't think straight. You're causing confusion when I'm working. I can't talk to you when I'm at work. I'm extremely busy. I can't give you everything that you want straight away. If I end up being in a panic, I'm not going to be able to concentrate at work, right? So I have other things to do. I can't always give you what you want when you want it, right? Here. Because this can be like, I can't always give you money, right? I can't always afford to give you what you want here, right? This can be a kid or a child, and you're taking too much money, you're taking too much time, right? Here. So I can't afford to keep giving you everything that you want just because you want it, right? You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to start earning your own keep, right here. So you've kind of got that, because it's free will. Well, it's not, you don't have it. People think they have free will, but you don't. Trust me. I don't want to go into that because I've said about it loads of times about free will. Okay, you soon get redirected back in life and realising that it was the greatest mistake. Right, here. But again here, what you've got is someone that has kids, has children, has a partner. Right. Could be partnership, there may not be anything wrong. I have to relate it to people that are in relationships and that are compromising, or people that didn't compromise and they left because someone was too busy for them here. Right. So let's just have a quick look at what the Emperor is here. Tower, you see? Emotional breakdown. You got a feminine against a polar, a position of life here, right? An emotional breakdown. So somebody here broke down emotionally because somebody didn't have time for them here, didn't have time for them. It's a big awakening energy. This is in my Jupiter here and other places of Chiron and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you got an awakening here, you got an epiphany, you got a spiritual awakening, but this can also be a meltdown, you know, because it can be someone that's being triggered. And what they do is they start blaming it upon another person. It was my father, it was my stepfather, it was my kids, my children that triggered me off. You triggered me off. You know, I can't handle it, I can't accept that. No, that's not right, that's not fair. My mind is, I've lost my mind here. So you've kind of got that, like I said, when you get these energies here, these are where you contract during the matrix, where you contract someone that is very like in and out, flaky, and they come in really quickly and very dynamically towards a person that is kind of like, well, you don't have time for me, what's the matter? And they start an argument. Somebody of Aries with the Tower would normally try to avoid this energy, because if it gets into one's DNA, right, because it can be a blood-borne disease or anything, but it can also be a part of the matrix. When you're connected via soulmates here, when this person contacts you, if they've got loads of shit in their head, right, loads of shit in their head, when you contact each other, it just doesn't work. Like all your numbers just doesn't figure. they don't add up, right? So you're like, just get out of my head. I can't fucking cope at the moment with you. Like, you know, just can't cope, right? So what did this Knight of Wands say? Yeah. Oh, in reverse. Three of Swords. Fuck it. I'll give you an ultimatum. If you don't soon start bucking up your ideas and pay me any attention, then I'm going to leave. Well, you did. That's why you end up heartbroken. So someone ends up in a sorry state because they can't get through to the tower. They can't break the tower down. They can't get through. So somebody in this dynamic had a breakdown. Right? You had a breakup. You had a split up. They could have had an emotional outburst towards a person. But you are looking at a major arcana of Aries right from the start, which means that it can be that person, but it could have been redirected to that person that ended up saying, fuck off then. You know, if you're going to shout and scream at me, and you're going to not have any patience just to let me just say something, if you ain't, then you might as well go here. So it's kind of like someone let someone leave here. Well, this page is being heartbroken here, because it's in reverse. So they've gone off in order to mend, trying to fix something within themselves, right? Within themselves. Because like I said, through the energy of the past, somebody contacted somebody and didn't have patience to let the argument settle. During a condition, even if it's Aries, we're all conditioned to believe that a relationship's supposed to be where we're supposed to have time for each other 24/7, right? And that you can talk to me at work, you can talk to me whenever you need me, I'll be there, right? So it's kind of, but you're never there for me. You never wanted me in the first place, did you? You never loved me. You're never always here for me. You're never here for me. You're always at work. An ultimatum, right? So it means force someone's hand. So it means that if you don't soon start doing something that I want, I'm going to leave. Well, you did here. Fire sign, possible. Left. So you leave on your own accord. That's what you decide to do here. Okay, so that's that bit. So we do have reversals in here now, because I'm starting to sometimes throw a couple of cards in reverse before I start to shuffle, and then if they come out in reverse they do, but not all of the deck, just a few of them, okay? But if they do come out, they do come out. So let's start to look at what Virgo, make sure it's audio is recording, do all that for nothing, from the 7th until the 14th. Okay, so what's going on with Virgo from the 7th until the 14th? Same card that came out through Leo. Not speaking, not talking. Let's just not talk then. Let's not speak. Because you're compromised. You both feel as if there's secrets that are now. It can lead to paranoia because someone's not speaking, someone's not talking, someone believes someone's controlling their emotions. Someone believes that someone's controlling or narcissistic, and the fact that they're not speaking to the person. Because the person might be using their intuition and think, I know damn well what you're up to, okay, here. So, you know, the energy now is just compromised by not talking about it. Because 2 means that it's unfair, right? Which means that it's either one, affair, and people are in third parties, or it means that it's unfair, right? That I see it my way, you see it your way, right? So we're not talking because you see it that way and I see it this way. And if I don't see it the way that you do, we just stand here basically not speaking and not talking, and let's just not talk about it then. Because there's no getting through to you, there's no talking to you about it because of what you said during the argument that made things to close down. Is because when people argue, if somebody don't, if someone hasn't got patience and they come at a person with a list of demands of things that a person did wrong, they will leave, they will go, right? Because it's kind of like when you argue, you say, yeah, because you didn't do this, and because you remind me of all of these things, you triggered me off, you made me think of all of this, you remind me of my children and my kids and my father and my mother and my job and everything else is fucking losing, and because of all of that, I'm going to say all of those kind of things to you that I can't take back. So because I can't take all of what I said to you back, you made whatever was minor into a major incident of where this person's now dug their heels in more and thought, you know what, I don't know if I can forgive you for all what you said, because apparently what you said is all of these things that I'm shit at. And because if I'm that shit, well then you might as well go, right? So basically the energy is that you're continuing to not speak. Because whichever way you look at it, an argument is made out of something that can be very minor in life. Definitely within this reading, because the first card out was the Page of Cups. It was something that was said. It depends what was said that hurt someone's ego and their pride, right? But it can also be courage, right? Because it can be that someone didn't have enough courage in order to speak up of things that they'd built up in their head for God knows how long. And because they didn't, eventually, when they did want to say something, they said too fucking much through the tower. There were certain things that I didn't say, and then eventually when I did, I got it all off on my chest and pretty much said too much. So now you said it too late. You said too much. Too little, too late, too much. Okay? So as you're reading, I'm sorry it's only one card, but I've got nearly an hour there and I've got other readings to get through. And I have to leave the majority of the messages over for Patreon. So if you would like to join, I'll continue to do your reading, but also channel any messages and look for patterns of behaviour, advice, and also what you've got coming up. It is only part of the full access bundle. If you are a part of that, that's obviously where you get everything that it says on the tin, which is everything, okay? But definitely each month you roughly get 5 readings that are per month, okay, roughly, okay? So if you want to join, you can. This is part of one of them, and then you get 3 other weeklies and then a monthly, okay? But this is this is your second one, because this is the 7th until the 14th. So you've got 2 other weeklies after that, okay? Roughly, I think. But if you want to join, you can. The link is below for Patreon, full access bundle. And there's also a video that does explain everything that Patreon does or that I offer or how I change things. But if you are unsure and you want to watch that video first, you're more than welcome. There's also a link to loads of other different things, but also Angel Radio. If you're interested in the music, there is one over there at the moment that I haven't put out on here, but there's another one that I'm nearly finishing, and that will get put over, but it will only go to Angel Radio now. So if you want to support me with that, I really hope that you do, because it's free music. If you do like it and you like arts and videos and looking for ghosts and God knows what else in the artwork, and you like free music, sometimes there's messages in of those for people, okay? So if you like it, it's on Angel Radio, okay? Alright guys, I'll hopefully see you over on Patreon.